I call it a program win. And anytime you can get a win over Fayetteville State, doesn't matter if it's in the parking lot, it's a big one. Coach Richard Hayes, outstanding head coach. He's hired me not once but twice as his OC. And then for some of the things that they've done, to go to the CIAA Championship Game 6 times in a row is just an amazing feat. Coach Hayes has an outstanding staff. They support football at Fayetteville State, and they do a heck of a job. For us to go there, we really felt we had to put some points on the board, and we didn't do it. We had opportunities, really felt like we moved the ball well consistently. I believe only 1 3 and out, and I believe that was right before the half, but we really moved the ball well against one of the top defenses in the CIAA. Our defense, I believe they were on their way to pitching a shutout before the muff punt. Our defense had shut them out through 3 quarters, basically, until that muff punt happened. Coach Tripp and his staff, they had an outstanding game plan. The young men executed it. Just so happy for so many of them on that side. They put in a good week's work. But can't say enough about our young men, how resilient they were. They could have easily folded. The time when we went down 14-10 after leading the entire game, could have folded, but just kept the composure, and to get the big conversion on 4th and 8, 4th and 9 by KD, and then Bobby T to get the score, just amazing. But again, it was just so many things that went into it. The weight room went into it, our conditioning, our strength, our just attention to detail. I'm just so pleased with it in all 3 phases.
Now, Coach, this week is a big game against Livingstone, rivalry, 9-1 times you all met and everything. What have you told your players about this game?
It's a big game is what we've told them. It's a rivalry game. They're going to be fired up, and they're going to play hard. The team from Salisbury, last year, they really, they played an outstanding game to get the win 15-10. Again, 10 points not enough to get a win. Offense really just several empty drives inside the red zone, came away from 0 points. But what we've told them is that, first off, what I'd like to say is just congratulations to the president of Livingstone in finding a donor. Just so happy for him, because it's much bigger than football, and just really happy for him and the Livingstone family. And with football, they want to win in Charlotte. They want to do what they did last year. Heck, they did knock us out of the championship game last year, knocked us out of an opportunity to go to the playoffs. We know that it's going to be a tough game. We know they're going to come and they're going to play hard. Got some talented players. We're going to have to be ready to play.
Since you've been here, you've been on the other side of so many of those close game last drives. Just talk to me now that you've had a little bit of time in between.
Yes.
Just what's it like sitting here today, knowing that everything you've been through put you in the place to be on the right side of the right one at the right time?
Well, it really was. I don't want to say it was deja vu, like been here before, and it felt eerily similar. Because in a way it did, and in a way it did not. And you're exactly right that we have been on the other side of some of those games. We've lost some of those games right there. I'd say the biggest difference was just the overall belief and the overall attention to detail with everything. When I say there was no panic with us, there was no panic. So much so, and I don't know if those that were at the game caught it or if those that were watching on TV caught it, but I believe it was about 1:22 on the clock, and there was a flag, and we had an opportunity to either call a timeout or take the 10-second runoff. We took the 10-second runoff because really 1:20 is way too much time than we needed to score from midfield. We really figured we could score in about 30 seconds. So we took the runoff because we didn't want to leave them any time on the clock. And so that's what I mean by we felt confident. Even at 3rd and 17, when KD hit the check down, and that set up the 4th and 9 for him to convert on the 4th down. But we felt confident in every kind of way. You look at the freshman receiver, redshirt freshman receiver, Reggie Daniels, 0. You look at the series before, we missed him on a post down the middle of the field that could have put us up. And you'll see that drive right there, the winning drive, we got the pass interference call. Well, again, it's just trusting your players. And we talked on the sideline. Reggie said, Coach, I can get by him when I want to if you need me. Oh, you made my job easy. So that's what I mean by the confidence. It was all over. And here we have our right guard, all CIAA guy, Jamari Mason, on the last drive. He's talking about, run the ball, Coach. We got you. Now, I believe in running the clock a little bit, but not running the football at this time. So when I say the team was confident, we were very confident, and just a belief in how we practice and how we work. Because, again, I'll say it, when you look at the game, the 4 quarters of the game, I really want to say we controlled probably 3 to 3.5 quarters of the game. And so it was just crazy to think that we were in a position to lose that game when we had dominated most of it. And I think that's really what helped our mindset on offense, was that we've been moving it all day. We can move the ball and get to the end zone. That's what I think happened.
And, touch on this as much or as little as you want, but the visiting conditions in some of these big games, we had the hot gym at Virginia Union,
yes.
And when I got to Fayetteville, one of the biggest topics was the tents and the porta potties. Talk a little bit about, number one, just that atmosphere, which is a real HBCU thing. A road game is a little bit deeper of a road game than the
yes.
SEC, because your confines are
yes.
going to be what they are. And a lot of times it's not intentional. A lot of times it just is what it is. I
yes.
remember year before last, and the other times I've been to Fayetteville, it's right there in that kind of concession hallway, and that
yes.
just is what it is. So
right.
Talk just a little bit about the extra hurdles of CIAA road games when you are the visitor and you're put in these kind of tough situations.
Well, I'll say that maybe it's not always just CIAA. I've been in the SIAC also, so there's some rough road games in the SIAC also. But I'll say that, hey, Fayetteville State, they have some fantastic facilities at Fayetteville State. We just didn't happen to get any of them on Saturday. At the beginning of the question, you said I can elaborate as much or as little. I'll elaborate as little.
10-4. And so let's fast forward. It's interesting that last year and this year have been so different, yet you're in the exact same place.
Yes.
Right? Talk to me just about the vibe or the energy of the locker room going into a Livingstone game that admittedly you should win and probably will win, but you have last year, right?
Hey, and that's the great thing about it. We're 8-1 at this time last year. We're 8-1 right now, but this 8-1 feels totally different than last year's 8-1. At this time, 8-1, we were limping. Not limping physically, I'd say we were limping emotionally, coming off of a 27-0 game that we just did not see coming. And I'll take full responsibility as the head coach. It's my job to get our guys ready to play, and I didn't. And so then we go into the last game, and we just didn't perform. And so that 8-1 became 8-2. But here's what is really easy to see is that the lessons that have been learned. I mean, if you look, when I say the lessons learned, yes, from last year, but also look at the lessons learned from this year. We went on the road, had some big road games, but that road game in Richmond, Virginia, that taught us a lot on the field and off the field. And so much so that you saw some lessons learned 2 weeks later when we went to Petersburg, Virginia. Then we had another big road game. Anytime you play someone for their homecoming, it's a big game. Throw the records out. And we had another big road game at Shaw for their homecoming. And then we come home with a game with Winston-Salem State and perform well. And then we have the biggest of road games with Fayetteville State. But the experiences from before and last season are with this ball club. And so now you go into play the team from Salisbury for your last one. Yeah, there's a lot of the same things on the line. There's a lot of the same things on the line as last year, but I believe if you ask our team, our leaders on the team, they would say how different it feels. I had one of our young men say on Friday of last week, they said, Coach, this feels so different than last year because our vibe in practice and our energy is just so up. I think that has to do with last year, and it really has to do with the trip to Richmond. When to me, it really felt very obvious that we just didn't have energy in that game. Maybe it was from the hot gym for an hour and a half during the delay. Oh, but we're not supposed to talk about conditions. I'm sorry. But I just think our young men have learned so much. Our young men have learned so much. And so now we're in that situation again. You look at this situation right here. Let me go real quickly. There's 6 things on the line for JCSU. One is the Commemorative Classic, and they give out I love that trophy. 2, we clinch a spot in the 2025 CIAA Championship Game. By clinching a spot in the CIAA Championship Game, we should clinch a spot for the playoffs. The first one in JCSU history. That's 3. The 4th, we can go 9-1. That would be the most wins in JCSU football history. 9 wins. The 5th one, we can finish undefeated at home. And then the 6th thing, it's senior day. And we're graduating. We have 31 seniors. Large amount of these guys were what we call day one guys. Guys that were here when the field was grass. Guys that were here when we dressed in the locker room under the gym. Guys that were here that lifted in the weight room that you only get 18 to 20 guys in. Guys that have built this program to being a team that's right now ranked number 17 in Division II, a team that's number 3 in Super Region 1. We have a lot to play for. And just like last year, we had a lot to play for. So I'm really looking for the lessons that we've learned over the past years to really show in our preparation and then on Saturday.
And then, talk to me about not done yet. Man, just as you sit here right now, a new mantra, a mantra that was really born at a heartache. Just talk to me about how y'all, just as a unit, have latched onto that not done yet and how it, literally manifested itself on the field.
Wow.
On Saturday.
You know what? It's the not done yet theme for our season. It came from Rick Elias. Rick Elias came. He makes it just routine to speak to us, to the team before our first practice and training camp. And so he asked before he came, he said, Coach, have you got your motto for the year yet? I said, no, we haven't. Not yet. And he said, well, I want to try something. And he came with not done yet. And boy, he just explained why we aren't done yet. And it just fit our football team, our football program at the specific time. And our young men, boy, they love it, they feel it, and they know that there's steps in this process. It fits our process. It fits where our program is, and they believe in it. And it just fits. You look at so many games. I remember us saying not done yet after the loss in Richmond. And I remember several of the players coming to me and saying, Coach, we aren't done yet. This is going to help us. Players were saying that. So when they can relate to so many things that help motivate us, that help keep us focused, that's just makes it easier to coach the group.
You answered my question about senior day. I'm good.
Yes.
Appreciate
We
you.
good?